Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's an early one here on a Monday morning, but we just had a major piece of news that just dropped. I wanted to provide you guys a little update, get a quick video up for today. But if you're not plugged in or not on your phone at 7 a.m. scrolling through Twitter on Monday morning like myself, you may have missed this. So, an account called Flushing It Golf. Ironically enough, Tom Flushing It was one of my first guests here on the Scratch Golf Show way back when. Tom himself is very plugged into the live golf scene, the professional golf scene, but mainly the live golf scene. So when Tom puts something out on Twitter like this, I generally take it at face value. He's been very plugged in. He's had a number of different news pieces that have broke early. He was the one who broke the John Rahm signing before it was actually made official. So when he puts something out like this, which I'll put up on the screen here, if you guys can see it, but I'll just read it for the purposes of the video. Flushing It Golf, from Flushing It Golf. The PGA Tour reached out to creators involved with Live Golf's The Duels. And if you're not familiar with that, I put out a video last week, but I'll break it down here more in a minute. And threatened them with potential future suspensions if they participated in the unsanctioned event, in line with the rules for non-members who play full Live Golf League tournaments. The creators pushed back, however, and now threats of sanctions have been dropped. So we were waiting to see how this played out. With the PGA Tour and Live. As you guys know, there's this ever-going professional golf war on between the two tours. But this is like a big new piece of news. As we've seen the PGA Tour get involved with the creator world over the last couple of years, doing the Creator Classic last year at East Lake, which was a huge success, and then doing the Creator Classic, which Grant Horvat just won at TPC Sawgrass a couple weeks ago. We've seen them get more involved with the tour. Now, as somebody who has watched and come from the professional golf scene first to the YouTube scene and now am enjoying both of these worlds, it's a bit crazy. I will say the PGA Tour is my preferred tour to watch. Let me start by saying that. But I also state this by saying the PGA Tour has always lacked behind in whether it's technology, broadcast, YouTube world, everything. They're always lagging behind. And Live has actually been in front, and I'll give them props. Live Golf has been in front of getting in the YouTube world. You know, we've seen like Bryson, for example, Phil, all these guys who went to Live who have much more freedom over their media rights, going to YouTube and making their own channels, making content. We've seen the Grant 2v2 Phil series that has been a huge success with DJ and John Daly and Sergio and all these guys who have made the move to YouTube because they have the freedom to do so on Live Golf. This really bothers me from the PGA Tour standpoint. I think the main reason, and this is just my opinion, I haven't really reached out to anyone on the matter. This is just me sharing my opinion. It really feels like this is a direct shot or a direct reflection of the Bryan Bros making the move to Live Golf. More specifically, Wesley, because Wesley is an active PGA Tour member and has played PGA Tour events, gets PGA Tour starts, has an active PGA Tour card, and is making the move to Live Golf. I haven't reached out to Wesley, haven't talked to him, but this is primarily just me sharing my thoughts and matters and the opinion that the PGA Tour is doing this as a direct reaction to the Bryan Bros moving, and maybe Grant too, moving to Live Golf. But and playing in a Live Golf event, which is ridiculous because they're just playing as a creator. They're being paid to play for $250,000, which if you guys didn't see that, Live is hosting, like I said, their version of the Creator Classic, a giant 2v2v2v2v2 next week in Miami at Trump Doral. It's a huge event. It's their first event here in America for their season. They had landed a big TV contract with Fox in the offseason, and so they really want to make a splash for their first event. And they're doing this Saturday. Big event. I'm really excited to watch the duels. I think it's going to be a super cool event. But anyway, like I said, I think the PGA Tour is doing this in direct reflection to the Bryan Bros. As somebody who has had both Bryan Bros on my channel, spoken to them both about different things, and I know their opinions on things within the PGA Tour. George shares a lot on Twitter, and George, if you see this, what's up? This isn't a shot at you, but in my opinion, the PGA Tour takes advantage of the Bryan Bros, Wesley specifically, because they use him to their benefit on these smaller events that Wesley gets into to get eyes, putting him in feature groups, advertising him, but then ultimately not really showing him. But what they want to do is, capture his fans for, that he has in the YouTube world. I just think it's a low blow by the PGA Tour. I don't really know what they're going to accomplish because, they can threaten these these players and these creators for not having any more events. But if I'm Grant Horvat, if I'm Luke Quan, hell, if I'm even the Bryan Bros, I would never play in a PGA Tour sponsored event again. These guys don't need the PGA Tour. The YouTube world, in my opinion, could be bigger than the PGA Tour here in a few years. I mean, you got Grant getting millions of views of video. What does Grant Horvat need the PGA Tour for? What does Grant need from the PGA Tour that they can deliver to him? Grant has everything and then some. I mean, he's got an apparel deal. He's the owner of multiple golf companies. He has a sponsorship with Phil's team on Live with Primo. It just doesn't make sense. I think it's childish. I put on my Instagram story the most on-brand thing I've ever seen from the PGA Tour because it is. They're petty, they're small, and they don't like people getting involved with Live Golf. And I don't mind if you're a Live person. Like I said, I prefer to watch the PGA Tour. It's my preferred tour to watch. I do watch Live Golf. I don't watch every event, specifically the more outside the United States ones. I try to, but I'm not a huge fan of the product, and that's not a shot at Live. I've tried. I've given it time. I just prefer to watch the PGA Tour. But seeing the tour do stuff like this, it's just the most on-brand thing ever. They've done everything in their power to not grow the game, everything in their power to not have more eyes on the PGA Tour when they're desperate for eyes, not getting more involved in the YouTube world early. The PGA Tour doesn't pay these guys. That's what a lot of people don't know. When these guys go to the Creator Classic, they're getting paid hundreds of dollars, maybe hundreds of dollars from what I've been told or done my research to show up. And it's like Grant can charge an appearance fee for whatever he wants. I mean, he's the hottest name. And that goes for any of these creators. And guys, so keep in mind, like I've had a lot of these guys on, the Bryan Bros, Mason Nutt, like I don't pay appearance fees to get these guys on my channel for a podcast, but they could charge me or anyone else for their time because they are their own brand. Grant is his own brand. There's no Grant Horvat YouTube channel without Grant Horvat, and Grant can charge whatever he wants for an appearance fee. So I don't know what the PGA Tour is trying to accomplish by this. That's why I say I'm more leaning to them just feel like this is a direct shot at basically telling Wesley, like, hey, you better not do this or play in a Live event, otherwise you're going to be banned, which I don't get because Wesley makes probably more money than he does on the PGA Tour from YouTube. When I had him on last summer, he literally said I could never tee it up in a PGA Tour event again and be happy. So I don't know, man. It feels like a low blow by a tour, but like I said, it feels like the most on-brand thing ever. I don't know. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Comment below. Obviously, I'm a little heated by this. The professional golf world, like I said, I come from the professional golf world. I watched golf as a kid my entire life before doing my own channel, getting involved. And I love YouTube golf. Like YouTube golf over the last 5 years is one of my favorite things that I've ever kind of stumbled upon and now do for myself. But no, it just sucks because the PGA Tour is just, like I said, it seems like it's trying to split the game even more than it already has. Like the professional golf world doesn't need a fracture any more than it already has. And I feel like this is just making things worse. But like I said, guys, comment below. Let me know your thoughts on the matter. I just think the tour doing this is so dumb because none of these creators need the PGA Tour. None of these creators need to be at the Creator Classic. That Creator Classic does nothing for the PGA, for these creators. It does infinitely no more for the PGA Tour, getting all these kids, all these eyes out on camera, on the course. We saw at the Creator Classic the amount of people who were there. And yes, that's great. And I'm sure from Grant's perspective, it was super cool to win a PGA Tour sponsored event right at TPC Sawgrass, one of the most historic courses of all times. But the problem is that PGA Tour has kind of planted its leg on legacy and all this stuff. A lot of these creators, the legacy for them really doesn't matter, man. They're making a lot of money doing what they're doing on YouTube for a very, very specific reason. They're very, very good at what they do, and the PGA Tour should lean into that more. Get more involved in YouTube and stop, please, for the love of God, stop doing stuff like this. All right, guys, rant over. Just wanted to get a quick video up for today. Like I said, comment below. Let me know your thoughts on everything. If you're mad, if you think this is stupid from the PGA Tour, are you going to watch the Live event? Like I said, comment below, hit that subscribe button. Hope you have a great Monday. Peace.